Businesses don't fail, people fail. And this one thing has saved my ass more than anything else.
Can't be contained.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm in a very interesting part of my career right now where I have the privilege of mentoring so many people as they are starting their businesses. I have the privilege of being with my Pause Breathwork students as they are going through their certification and learning and growing and evolving and becoming the most amazing embodied leaders. And it's just such a privilege. And then I also have the opportunity of mentoring a community of women in my life mastermind who have these ginormous visions and ginormous dreams. And what that is forcing me to do is look at the last 14 years of being in business and starting multiple businesses and really looking to see what were the things that I wish I knew and what are the things that I do today that truly make the difference between success and failure. I was on the phone with my brother a couple days ago, and he's starting a new company, and I'm helping him with some advisory stuff. And I just sent him a text, and I was like, dude, are you ready to go on the greatest spiritual development journey, personal development journey of your life? Because it is that above everything else. And I really, really believe in my soul that the reason why businesses fail is because of the psychology of the leader first and foremost. First and foremost, I really believe that everything is a Google away, or now we have ChatGPT. It's a ChatGPT away from getting the most profound answers. But if we are not looking at our businesses as an opportunity to evolve ourselves moment by moment, day by day, then we're going to miss the point and we're going to be like, I can't do this. I'm going to go work at State Farm Insurance, and that's predictable and whatever it is. But your dreams are on the other side of some work. Your dreams are on the other side of some deep inner work. And when we are hit with challenges in our businesses, the ego wants to make it about the thing. The ego wants to make it about the terrible email that you got, or the thing that didn't work, or the person that said no, or the rejection, or whatever it is, when in fact, all that's doing is shaping you to actually evolve and heal through that vulnerability that got poked so that you can evolve into a stronger, more embodied, more heart-centered, more aware, more awake leader. Because that's actually what the world needs right now. Is we need leaders who are so in their body, so connected to their hearts. Their minds are clear, their hearts are open, their intentions are for the betterment of humanity. That's what we need. We've been exercising the distorted masculine wing for so long. Greed, control, profit over people, all of this stuff, like manipulation, greed, all of it. And it's time for us to have a next cut in business, which requires us to exercise that divine, gifted, feminine wing, so that that energy of the divine, gifted, feminine can help bring the distorted masculine back into the gift of the masculine, so that the future of business has coherence, it has balance, and both energies are in the gift. And when I look back on the last 14 years, the times where I've taken quantum leaps is when I really got this and I really operated from both energies simultaneously. So we went through this. So we had feminism, right? Which I think was a very important thing to have, of like, women are equal. Let's go. We can make money. And that was great. And the girl boss movement is coming from a proving energy. I'm going to prove that I can do it. I'm going to prove, I'm going to push, And there's this proving energy attached to that. Whereas what we get to settle into as women now is not the proving, but the embodying of our unique feminine energy, the feminine energy that is going to really support the healing of the distorted masculine energy, so that both energies have these beautiful wings that are equal but different and both needed at different times. And so we have, if you look at it like a quadrant, right? Like a box, we have gifted masculine, distorted masculine. We have gifted feminine, and we have distorted feminine. So let me break that down. We've got the distorted masculine, right? Which is the force, the push, the manipulation, the override, the aggressive, the operating from fear, the go, 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 the push, the denial of the body, the abandoning of the heart in order to just win, right? And then we have the gifted masculine, which is the present, the steady, the aligned action, the patience, the resilience, the commitment to something so much greater, right? And then we have on the feminine side, and by the way, this is not specific to any gender. It is, we have both energies in us. We all have all four. So then we have the distorted feminine. The distorted feminine is the collapse. It's the helpless. It's the I can't. It's the it's too hard. It's the someone do it for me. It's the codependent, right? So we have that. And then we have the gifted feminine, which is the collaboration, the creativity, the intuition, the prioritizing energy over strategy, the color, the movement, the juice, the emotionality, the heart, the intention of everything being for the betterment of all beings. It's the lack of separation. It's the union, right? It's the coming together. It's the how can my creations and how can my business actually serve not only me, but my family and the world, right? It's not this and that. It's everything is being nourished and nurtured simultaneously. Yeah. So the way that I've created it in my mind for my own life as like a map, right? The quadrant is one map. I'm going to share another map that's similar, which is the devotion versus the discipline. Yeah. So when we shift from the distortions of those energy, which is like the overpowering masculine and the underpowering distorted submissive feminine, and we move those energies both into their gifts, then we have discipline, the masculine quality of discipline, which is the alignment, which is the commitment, which is the integrity, which is the resilience, which is the steadiness. There's like this forward moving energy, but it's held by the gifted feminine. And the gifted feminine is the devotion, right? So discipline, which is the movement, devotion is the energy. So think of it like that, right? The gifted feminine is holding the contact, it's holding the energy for the action to take place. And those two things are working in collaboration together, both energies. If we had only the gifted feminine and we didn't have that discipline, we didn't have that aligned action, we didn't have that gifted masculine, then we'd have a lot of energy richness, but it wouldn't materialize in the 3D world because there's no action. So we have got to have both energies and have the gifted feminine, which is the devotion. I hope you guys are taking notes because there's a lot of content I'm sharing right now. So the gifted feminine is the devotion. I am devoted to this mission. I am energetically present. I am connected to the transformation I desire to create. I am connected to the beings that I get to serve. I am connected to what I am doing. There is a heart energy that is there. The energy of the heart is 100 times more powerful than the energy of the mind, right? And so when we are connected to our heart, when we're connected to our bodies, when we're connected to our missions, when we have a clear vision, when we are honoring our gifts, when we're coming from a place of just embodied power, then any amount of action that we take is going to be supercharged by the devotion. So I'm going to give you an example of how I used to work in my old company, which was called Hungry for Happiness. I know a lot of you guys are still here from those days. And even my company that I started before that, which was called Liftify. So I operated in my distorted masculine. I hired a bunch of male mentors. They all gave me amazing advice, but no one said anything about energy. And so it was all about structure and go and force and winning and hitting KPIs and revenue and go, do. So what was happening is because I wasn't deeply connected to my feminine essence, I wasn't connected to my devotion, I wasn't fully embodied in what I am here to do and the gifts that I am bringing to this world, I was burning myself out over and over and over and over again. I was not in the practice of self-care. I was not in the practice of energy over strategy. I was not in the practice of femininity over force. I was not in the practice of heart over hustle. I was in the practice of, I'm just going to win. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to prove. It was that proving energy, right? That girl boss, let's go, that energy, right? And we got to start somewhere. I'm not knocking that phase. I think we all need to go through evolutions in order for us to get to a place that has more alignment. But the era we're stepping into is how can we as women not be in proving energy, in validation energy, and how can we be in embodiment energy and this energy of like, I know the value that I bring. I know the value that I have locked in my body. I know I have an abundance of intelligence existing in my body. I know when I get quiet, when I pause, that's when God just downloads all of this information into me. I know by slowing down, by pausing, I am actually going in the direction of my dreams quicker. It is not a coincidence that the mission of pause was dropped into my body when it needed to be, because it is my greatest lesson in this life. My greatest lesson in this life is pausing, slowing down. That's my greatest lesson. That's why I created an entire business around it, right? Breathwork changed my life at a time where I needed a lifeline when I was struggling with an eating disorder, and it continues to support me, to lift me up, to guide me, to show me, to remove all illusion and bring me back into truth. And so I get to acknowledge that as like the greatest medicine on this planet. Breathwork is the greatest medicine for me on this planet. And so when I'm in the practice of slowing down, I can so clearly see where I'm in devotion or where I'm in collapse and where I'm in hustle and where I'm in alignment. And so I want you to take a moment as you're listening to this and just ask yourself, out of those 4 quadrants, the gifted masculine, the distorted masculine, the gifted feminine, and the distorted masculine, where are you at? And do this from a place of just curiosity, like, where am I at? Because guess what? The cool thing about being human is we can change the direction any moment of any day, right? So as soon as we have more awareness, if you're like, oh, dang, I operate in my distorted masculine most of the time. Well, guess what? This is why you're listening to this podcast. Now we can begin to go, okay, rather than going, how do I stop doing that? It's like, no, how do I just add more of what I desire into it so that the things that feel really sticky and gross and begin to fade away. And I can just have more of the things that actually light me up and feel amazing. And so take some time today and just check it out. Like how am I operating in my business? How am I operating in my relationship? Right? Energy has no walls. Wherever you are, there you are. And so how you show up in your relationships with your family, in your business, everywhere, even that corporate job that you hate right now, that you are eventually going to quit, wherever you're at, there you are. So how can we really embody this nature of shifting the energies into the gifted energies, so that we can gain traction in our businesses, in our life, and actually achieve the things that we're here to achieve. Yeah. Let yourself get into this beautiful dance of devotion and discipline, working on your energy more than you work on anything else. That's one of the biggest hacks that I would say to my students is I work on my energy way more than I actually work on the tangible working of pause. Aligning my energy, focusing on the future, loving myself. The more self-love you have, the less fucks you give. So when you love yourself more, the mistakes that come up, you don't take them personally. You don't go into, oh, I'm not worthy or I can't do this. You're like, oh, that was a mistake. Okay, cool. We're going to move on. We're going to take ownership for it. We're going to find solutions for the future. You have so many dreams inside of you. So don't let a lack of awareness of energy, have an impact on your results. Because if you do, then you're going to think something's wrong with you, right? If your business is not getting traction, if you're not making the money that you want to make, it's not that you're doing the wrong thing. It's just operating from the wrong energy. So let's recalibrate the energy. Let's get back into alignment. Let's bring in the gifted feminine. Let's bring in the gifted masculine. Let's have this equal balance of devotion and discipline. So those wings are moving with balance and harmony and coherence. All right, my loves, I hope this has been helpful for you. If you are watching this on YouTube, let me know in the comments box your biggest takeaway. If you are listening to this on one of your favorite podcast platforms, it would mean the world to me if you would give us a 5-star review and let us know how you loved this episode. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.
Can't be contained.